Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Scully Scoop podcast. I'm your host, Adam Scully. I really appreciate all the feedback I've been getting. Episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and now episode 4. Last episode, a lot of our focus was on golf, on fitness, on CrossFit with Nate Klingersmith. Learned a lot personally. Hopefully you guys will tune into some of his Zoom classes. It's awesome what he's doing, that sort of thing to go and teach classes like that. And we all want to get better. All of us golfers out there waiting. Hopefully we're going to play golf in the next couple of weeks. My fingers are crossed on that one for sure, but we shall see. As you guys all well know, a big passion of mine is hockey. I was once drafted in the OHL 12 years ago, and now I follow the game quite closely. I've worked on a junior hockey show for the last 9 years, and as well I do a lot of work on TSN's That's Hockey, doing some writing for Gino Retta. And so I follow the NHL quite closely. And when the NHL season was put on pause due to COVID-19, the Boston Bruins were the best team in hockey. They had an 8-point lead over Tampa Bay in the Eastern Conference. Remember last year, Tampa Bay had an historic season, winning a bunch of games in the regular season, but then shockingly got swept in the first round of the playoffs. Now, the majority of the team was back this year. After a very slow start, they were one of the top teams in the league from December until the league was shut down, unfortunately, due to COVID-19. And one of the big reasons for that, the play of Anthony Cirelli. He's broken out for a career-high 43 points in 67 games on a team full of superstars. He's one of their top two-way forwards. He kills penalties, and many believe that he could be a nominee for the Selke whenever the NHL does restart. And I'm proud to say that on today's podcast, Anthony Cirelli is my guest. And we're pleased to welcome in Anthony Cirelli to the show. Anthony, thanks for joining us. How has life in COVID been for you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been pretty tough. Obviously quarantined. I'm down here in Tampa. Luckily the weather's been pretty nice down here, so I'm able to enjoy some fresh air once in a while. But yeah, not much to it. Obviously pretty bored. A lot of Netflix, a lot of video games, and obviously trying to get some workouts in here and there to stay in shape.
Okay, we'll get to the important stuff first. Netflix. Are you a Tiger King guy? Are you a Bachelor guy? What are you watching on Netflix?
Yeah, I started watching Tiger King, but I couldn't really get into it. I know a lot of people say you gotta stick with it. It gets better. I might try and finish it. I've been watching. I just finished Money Heist, actually. I thought that was a pretty cool show. Ozarks currently too. So I've been switching from different shows, but I think I might have to get back on Tiger King.
How about the Last Dance, the Jordan, the Chicago Bulls doc? Have you seen any of that?
Yeah, I actually watched the first 2 episodes. I thought that it's been spectacular. Obviously, I didn't really get to watch him play much, just with how old I am and stuff like that. But to be able to watch that, see how good he was, and kind of see his mentality, is just unbelievable to be able to watch and see what it was like.
It's wild, and I can't wait for the next 2 episodes coming out next week. Okay, you mentioned you're in Tampa. Have you done any golfing at all? Do you golf?
Once in a while. I'm not that good. I try and get as much as I can, but I get frustrated. So, but luckily the courses down here are actually open. So once in a while I'll go and keep busy for a couple hours.
Right on, man. Good for you. I also produce a golf show on the side, so good on you to get out there and try. But yeah, it's certainly very, very frustrating. In terms of staying in shape, this is obviously a hot topic for anyone, whether you play the National Hockey League or you're your average Joe trying to not gain your quarantine 15. Are you able to work out? If so, what kind of equipment do you have?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get a couple pieces of equipment from the gym. A couple of just low dumbbells and stuff like that. But mostly it's kind of just that body weight kind of stuff, squats, some push-ups, core exercises. So obviously you can't be doing much with, the limited space and stuff like that. Or I actually got a pair of rollerblades, so I've been rollerblading around and have a little net and stuff. So obviously it's not the same as being on the ice every day, but it's better than nothing. Get that technique in, and like I said, just mostly trying to stay in shape, if anything.
You mentioned body weight stuff. There's something I found really interesting during this time of doing a whole lot of nothing and browsing through Instagram is a lot of people post their workouts. Have you seen anything specific on Instagram maybe or anything on social media that you've applied to your workouts?
I actually have a couple of buddies that they post quite often on their workouts and little stuff at home that they do. Um, Obviously, guys at Tampa here are sending some workouts like the trainers and stuff. So that's been helping me a lot. But it's just cool, fun, and see what different people come up with and different unique ways to get your body moving and staying in shape. So I don't really try everything because I don't want to get hurt or anything. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see, what it's like going on Instagram.
We're in conversation with Anthony Cirelli of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Anthony, obviously, when you guys eventually do come back, you'll very likely not be playing in front of fans. What do you think that would be like? How strange would that be?
Yeah, I think very, very strange, obviously. Thinking about it, obviously, because that, could very much be the what happens. So I'm not sure. Like, it's usually the fans bring so much energy and the atmosphere is unbelievable. Them cheering you on, and obviously if you're the road team getting booed or whatever. So to be able to play without fans, it's going to be a different feel for sure to the game. But if that's the way we got to go, then that's the way we got to go. And I guess we'll see how it is when it happens.
Do you think it would almost feel like a practice? Like obviously you played minor hockey and there were maybe 100 people, parents, that sort of thing in the stands. But do you think this would kind of almost feel like a practice to you?
Yeah, for sure. The atmosphere will definitely be a practice like, because you'd be probably hearing everything that's said on the ice from coaches to refs to players. So I guess there won't be too much a noise in the building. So you got to kind of create your own energy. So I think it'll definitely be a lot tougher, but everyone's in the same situation.
Okay, so before the shutdown, you were having a career year, 43 points, 67 games. In your mind, what were some of the reasons for your success on the ice?
I'd say my teammates. Obviously, with the depth that we have, and we have four unbelievable lines that could do pretty much everything, score, play physical and stuff like that. So whoever I was able to play with, you're just getting somebody good. So I think we gelled a lot as a team throughout the year from the beginning to the end. And past couple of weeks before the closure, I thought we were playing some really good hockey. So I think stuff we're clicking, and obviously it would be nice to continue that momentum going forward. But hopefully we can get going soon.
We're in conversation with Anthony Cirelli from the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Anthony, if you guys do come back and go right into the playoffs and the scenario stayed the same, you'd be playing the Toronto Maple Leafs in round one. What do you think about that?
Yeah. We saw them a couple times before the closure there. Obviously, very good team, skilled, fast. They play hard. So I think it'd be a pretty good matchup. Obviously, growing up from Toronto, and I was obviously a Leaf fan growing up, so I think it'd be pretty cool. I don't know where we're going to be playing, and stuff like that still need to be decided. But I think it'll be pretty fun, a lot of fun, and it's playoff hockey, so it's the best time of year. And then if we do end up playing the Leafs, I think it's going to be a good hard battle.
Something I always find interesting is the number that players choose to wear. For you, it's 71. What's the significance, if any significance, behind that number?
Yeah, there isn't really much to it. It was actually the number I got coming out of camp, and I wore it my first year when I got called up, and I wore it for the 20 games or whatever I was up for, and then some playoffs. And started off pretty decent, so I was like, you know what, I'll just kind of stick with it.
Now, when you first got into the NHL, you mentioned just playing in your first year. Who were some of the guys who took you under their wing and sort of helped you make the transition from playing junior and having a billet to being a professional?
Yeah, when I first got called up, I think everyone really was welcoming me with open arms. So obviously that helped a lot. But a lot of guys would just give me tips. I played with Killoran when I first got called up, and I kind of been with him ever since, on the same line. So he's kind of taught me a lot and helping me grow as a player. I remember, Chris Kunitz, he would always kind of trying to give me as much advice as I can. I actually sat beside him when I got called up. So that's pretty cool because obviously the success that he's had in the league and being able to get tips from him was helped me a lot. But yeah, everyone had to say, Hetty or Stammer, and now getting to know these guys and, you see how hard they work and pushes me to be better. So I think, a lot of people help me.
Now, another guy who's, I'm sure, who's helped you as well is your coach, Cooper. He seems, from the outside anyway, as he's got the law background, he seems like a very interesting man. Back in the day, coaches used to scream and yell at guys, but he doesn't seem like that sort of type. What's it been like learning from him?
Yeah, Coop's been great. He's always trying to, get guys, to be better and pushing you to be better and be at your best. So, he definitely yells once in a while here if you come behind the closed doors, but he's helped me a lot and just with doing video and stuff like that. And you're just trying to, even when I first got called up, just trying to get me, accustomed to the league and being a pro every day and stuff like that. So, he's been, a huge influence on my career so far.
All right, a couple of fun ones before we let you go. You mentioned Alex Killoran in a previous answer. Some of your teammates have been pretty active on social media during the shutdown. Alex Killoran's one of them. He's been going to different teammates' docks on his jet ski for some dock talk. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know what's gone into him. He seems like he wants to be an Instagram influencer nowadays. I think they're hilarious. Obviously, I tune in once in a while and see the different players that he goes to, and it's a fun way to interact with fans, I guess, and get some moving and on the jet ski, touring around the water. So I think it's awesome. I love watching the videos and stuff like that. Hopefully I get on soon. I don't know, he hasn't texted me yet, but yeah, it's awesome.
I know Killoran in one of his videos mentioned going to Tom Brady's dock, I believe. Now that Brady's back, he's in Tampa now. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Gronk too, yeah.
Yeah, and Gronk, that just happened as well. So I think it's awesome for Tampa. I watch football here and there. I actually haven't been able to get a Bucs game yet, but having Brady and Gronk on the same team again in Tampa, I think that's great for the community, for the fans, and it'd be pretty cool to see what they can do next year.
All right, two more before we let you go. If you had to be quarantining with one teammate, if you could choose one guy that you wouldn't get sick of at all, who would it be?
It's a tough question. Who I wouldn't get sick of? I'm gonna go with Pat Maroon.
Okay.
Pat Maroon, he's hilarious. He's always figuring out stuff to do. I think he's got, he could cook, I guess. I don't know. He just seems like he's a fun guy to be around, obviously. He's always cracking jokes and stuff like that, making the guys laugh. So yeah, if I was able to quarantine with him, I think we'd have a blast, and it'd be pretty fun.
Okay, and then on the other side of things, who would be one guy you'd last 3 hours and say, I can't do this anymore. I can't last one day with this guy, if you could pick one?
I could pick one. I'm going to go Pointer. Pointer, we're pretty good friends, actually, but we always like to battle against each other for some reason. We're always on opposite sides of a debate. So I think at first it'd be pretty fun, but then after a couple of days, we'd be arguing a lot. So I'm going to go with, I love Pointer, but we do battle a lot. Well,
Anthony, I really appreciate your time today. Stay safe, and hopefully we see you guys on the ice very soon.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Stripped by Cirelli. Late change by the Senators. Cirelli, a burst, cuts in, scores! What a play by Anthony Cirelli!
Really appreciate Anthony Cirelli joining the podcast today. 43 points, 67 games. He's had a great year so far. And as I said off the start, on a team full of superstars, Stamkos, Kucherov, Hedman, McDonough, Vasilevsky in net, Anthony Cirelli has been one of their top players, kills penalties, and a great guy to talk to as well. We learned something about his Netflix. He likes the new Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls documentary. He's 2 episodes in. And Tiger King as well. Couldn't quite get into it. I couldn't get into it as well. But if we're in quarantine much longer, I might have to restart watching Tiger King. Well, hey, really appreciate you all joining and tuning into episode 4 of the Scully Scoop podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Scully Scoop. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Adam_Scully. I'll keep you guys updated. You can watch us on YouTube, subscribe on iTunes, and this has been a fun one. I can't wait for episode 5. Thank you again for joining me on the Scully Scoop podcast, and we'll see you next time.